Greenwich Time Podcast. Welcome to a Sahaja Yoga podcast. Here you get to know a little bit more about meditation and you get stories from people who have been meditating for a while. My name is David, I'm your host today. So today we have our special guests here, Dionysia and Gergana. Hi Dionysia, hi Gergana. How are you?
Hi David, how are you?
Very good, excellent. So would you like to talk a little bit about yourself, just to introduce yourself?
Go ahead. Yes, sure. I'm Gergana and I'm natural medicine practitioner based in the United Kingdom, London, and I'm practicing Sahaja Yoga since 2010.
Fantastic.
And I'm Dionysia. I originally come from a Greek island. I live and work in London for the last 15 years. I work in market intelligence, and I've been meditating since the last 8 years.
Wow, very good. So you have been meditating for a while. So today we're kind of changing a little bit the format of our program that you have seen probably previously, and we'll be talking about the theme. And the theme today will be the theme for this Thursday program, that is Live Without Fear. So kind of more like a fearlessness sort of state. So do you have anything that you could talk about? Is any kind of personal experience that you have about it?
Yes, definitely. It's transformation, I could say, for myself before and after Sahaja Yoga. Mm-hmm. I was always a seeker in my home country, Bulgaria. Mm-hmm. So I was seeking for something more spiritual. I couldn't find it there. I got my self-realization in France. Mm-hmm. And in these teenage years, which I had, I can say that I was exactly looking for these questions. Who am I? What we are doing here? What is the purpose of our existence? And I had a little bit of this anxiousness about all this. Mm-hmm. Something was missing. And when I got my self-realization in Strasbourg, France, mm-hmm. finally something in me settled. Mm-hmm. And it was some kind of a relief in myself. Finally I found what I was looking for, and a kind of also security. Mm-hmm.
So I think probably you could use that kind of story to tell a little bit about. It's about kind of the fourth energy center, the fourth chakra.
Yes, also, so I was living for 10 years in France and Switzerland, mm-hmm. and I had to move very quickly here to London, UK. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was quite of a challenge to move to a capital from a very small town in the countryside.
And did you speak English at that time already? Or?
Of course, I had some knowledge. Of course, mm-hmm. not so good, but I was speaking. It was a big shock, I can say, with the English society, to adapt to everything. But thanks to meditation, we both with my husband are practicing Sahaja Yoga. This really helped me a lot.
Wow.
And definitely I can say we imbibe those qualities of the chakras. So this security and this confidence in myself just settled in 3 months' time.
Oh, very good. So it's kind of always very kind of challenging, kind of to settle to a different country, to a different culture. And did you have the same experience? Did you have any kind of fear kind of settling in a new place, Dionysia?
Well, I had that, but I had multiple experiences of where the connection of the Kundalini and the work that the Kundalini has done through the Sahaja Yoga meditation in my central heart, in my Anahata chakra, mm-hmm. was manifested from a life-threatening situation in the Himalayas 4 years ago, where I was involved in an assault.
Really?
And although it was such a life-threatening experience, I experienced a deep state of peace, both in my heart, but in my mind, because a lot of things that happens in our heart are reflected in our mind, isn't it, David? So
Yeah.
I felt like I was completely secured inside in a car, watching this situation in as a witness, as it was happening outside of me, and my inner being was completely protected, completely fearless. There was not in an inch of fear. And
But
I
what exactly
experienced this.
happened? I got
I'm not
curious,
going to
kind
go
of.
there.
Oh,
So
really?
it was
Is it
scary,
that bad?
and it was scary outside. But the
Okay.
beauty of it is that even now, when I reflect to it, and this is the power of our heart, power of our central heart is this fearlessness, and the power of our left heart is the spirit. Is depicted inside my memory as a spiritual experience, an experience when I saw this being fearless, being not exposed, and this is where I basically bought into the power of the Kundalini and Sahaja Yoga meditation. From this experience down to what we experience now, all of us collectively in UK and around the world with COVID-19, we meditate in this house. I live with Gergana and her husband and a beautiful family. We live together. And I can tell you with not exaggeration, COVID is something that happens outside of us, outside of this house. I don't experience, and I'm talking to you as a human being, COVID is there, it's an outside event. I know that we are going to live with that, but inside the core of my being, I feel protected, secured, with this capacity, that confidence inside me that I will overcome whatever life throws me in London. And life in London is very complicated. But whatever is a state of illness, and this is what we would like other human beings and all of the UK and the whole world to experience, and that's why we volunteer to this Sahaja Yoga meditation program in Greenwich.
It's actually a very important point now that you're talking about COVID-19, especially. I think now is still there is some uncertainty, but especially last year, I remember when the pandemic started and we had to go in lockdown. And I would look at people on the streets, or if I remember, for example, once I went to buy for the first time after the lockdown, I went to buy something in the supermarket, and I started putting whatever I could find. Now all the clothes I could find here on my face to protect. And I remember that I was crossing the street, and then the lady was like, "Get out of the way! Get out of the way!" Because she was completely like in fear, overwhelmed in fear.
Situation.
In fear.
Say, yeah.
And
Actually,
go on. Sorry.
This is true.
So also our little girl came in pandemic in March 2020.
Wow. So you had a child.
It was a big experience, but exactly I didn't have any fear thanks to this security which I was feeling, and also I trusted the process and the divine. So this can be done if we meditate regularly every day. So it's like a little seed or plant which we are nourishing. You have to look after this. You have to look after this state to grow within us.
Yeah, this is a very important point. What people need to do kind of every day to to grow and to clear this fourth chakra, so that this fearlessness, let's say, comes spontaneously to the person.
I think first people have to allow to know themselves more, to know who they are. When we know that we are the spirit, nothing can bother us.
Of course, this is a process where we get into, and I think the power of Sahaja Yoga meditation is down in the Kundalini, and it has a profound impact on. It has a real touchable benefit, as you heard from the testimonies of us too. And we are kind of ordinary people, made extraordinary out of Sahaja Yoga, out of the Kundalini process. There's nothing else there. And if we look at the studies right now, of the mental health, analyzing the mental health state of the UK citizens, you will talk about people that are really suffering what we call pandemic-related fear, the fear that they will catch COVID and what will be the impact of their life. And all of this is a pressure on this heart chakra, particularly in the central heart. So on this meditation class, this is the powers that the people need right now through the awakening of the Kundalini and through the Sahaja Yoga meditation to feel centered, to know that we are going to go through this, to feel fearlessness, the fear will subside and the peace in the heart and the mind will return. And it's not something that actually happens because it's a mechanism that happens inside our central nervous system. It's not the mantras, it's nothing, it's just physically inbuilt in us.
It was very interesting what you said about being also kind of a mental process, no? Because a lot of the fear, I believe it's also created a lot by the press, by the media that we are reading constantly, and how this affects our mind, no? And Gergana was
the fearlessness of the mind, how we interpret the information. Humans up to a certain point and above, if they're exposed to a lot of negative information, we have a subconscious side which is fed by fear. So our heart chakra relates to our brain chakras. That's why it's such an important. And with us meditating, we felt that the fear in our minds subsidizes because of this manifestation, because of the Kundalini balancing the Anahata chakra. So the fear in our brain subsidizes. So you are able to see, okay, I will read this information, but this is enough. I will stay away from the toxicity of negative information all the time.
It is not affecting.
Yeah, the media have to do their work, but it's down to us as human beings, how much we take. If we take more, if we are exposed to this, we play with one of our internal weaknesses, evolutionary weaknesses, which is fear in our brain.
Because, for example, I was even kind of reading the news and they say like maybe the vaccine is not, efficient to all the variants, and then people start kind of really feeling a lot of fear. No, this will never end. This will never end. And for sure, after meditation, after a very deep kind of stronger meditation, I can feel like completely kind of free and protected from all
detached.
this.
Yes.
Detached. Yes, protected.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that. A shield. It has this power of to feel shielded from this outside state of fear.
Wow, that's probably what everyone wants to feel. So what people can expect from this Thursday meeting? Because we'll be kind of talking about a little bit more in depth about this state.
We will be concentrating on the heart chakra and specifically on the central aspect, how to live without fear, how to be more secure, more confident within ourselves. As I said, also from my personal experience, first, we really have to know who we are. And like the founder of Sahaja Yoga meditation, Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi, often she refers to our subtle system that we have is like the tree of life, and the roots have to really establish themselves and to grow, so the whole tree can also transform and grow. So if we know who we really are and experience this state of meditation, everything is achievable. And yes, Dion can say more what we are going to do this Thursday.
So we are going to basically invoke our natural residual powerhouse of energy, the Kundalini, that resides in our subtle system behind the central nervous system. And through the knowledge of what Sri Mataji has given us, we will meditate and invoke that state to feel that state of fearlessness. And we will provide all the core information and insight that Sri Mataji has given us, and to help every practitioner that will join us to experience that.
Wow, fantastic.
And that becomes part of their fabric of everyday life. It's something like they wash their teeth. We wash our teeth every day. We don't question that we need to wash our teeth, but we question whether we can actually meditate. Meditation and the state of illness is innate, is what we are truly are. But because of these two, we don't feel it. So in our next session, we will focus about how we can tap into our inner Kundalini and our Kundalini itself to heal and balance our central heart.
Yes, to strengthen it and also to strengthen it all together.
And become actually force of good for the whole of society. So the Sahaja yogis, we are not here for ourselves. We are here to serve the whole society and the whole humanity.
Fantastic. So perfect. So if you have some time and you are willing to know more about Sahaja Yoga, so this Thursday and every Thursday we have a meeting at 7:30 in our Zoom meeting. So please join us, and thank you very much, Dio and Gergana, and hope to see you all on Thursday. All right.
We look forward to seeing you. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.